Hello everyone, welcome to Jets TV. Please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos as well, man. I want to thank everyone that does watch and share my videos. You guys are the absolute best. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into week 3, man. I'm excited. I'm here. I want to talk football. It's right around the corner. Let's get right into it. But whoa. I almost forgot, guys. I almost forgot. You got to remind me, all right? I need to do my week 2 recap, okay? I need to talk about my picks and what happened. You know, what was the turnout from what I called? What was my wins? What was my losses? What's going on here? So let's go ahead and get right into it. First game I covered, Cowboys at Broncos. Took the Cowboys in this game. Sadly, got myself a loss. Broncos beat the Cowboys 42-17, man. Thought Ezekiel Elliott would be more of a factor in this game. The Broncos said, They took him away. They found a way to shut him down and put him in the closet. And then Trevor Siemian just absolutely played extremely well in this game. Found Emmanuel Sanders like I said he should. And they just made magic happen, man. They just made magic happen. Anderson ran the ball very well as well. So shout out to the Broncos. You guys got yourselves a win. Sadly, took the Cowboys, got myself a loss. Next game I covered, Cardinals at Colts. Thought the Cardinals would roll. It was tight, but I tell you what, the Cardinals got themselves a win, man. Cardinals beat the Colts 16-13. Cardinals doing just enough, man. Doing just enough. There was some up and down, some spotty times in the game, but the Cardinals said, I'm pulling this one out. So they got the job done. Shout out to the Cardinals. Got yourselves a win. Got myself a win as well because I took the Cardinals. Last but not least, Jets at Raiders. I took the Raiders in this game. Sadly, got myself another win. Raiders beat the Jets 45-20. The Jets had all type of defensive issues. They were playing pretty tough up until, right around the half. When they fumbled a punt return, the Raiders were able to get a score off of that. Then they came out after half and just put us away. The Jets have to play more consistently defensively. The defense is awful, especially the middle linebacker spot with Lee and Davis. Those guys are getting pushed around all day long. It was absolutely ridiculous. So it is what it is. So now we're going to go into week 3, man, because I want to put week 2 in the past and the horrible defensive effort by the Jets in the past. I just want to put that in the past, okay? I'm ready to move forward. So first game we're going to cover out of week 3, Giants at Eagles. Man, listen, Giants offense, not looking so good. That offensive line is awful. Flowers is awful. OBJ, he's coming back from that ankle situation that he had, that ankle injury. He looked kind of up and down and out of sync in that game. The offense as a whole looked out of sync because there was just so much pressure on Eli. The balls were just all over the place. Brandon Marshall looks like, I don't know what's going on with Brandon Marshall out there, but he does not look good either. That offense is just bad, just absolutely bad. The defense looks solid, but man, how long can you stay on the football field when your offense is just not producing, man? You look at the Eagles side of the game, their front seven is solid, man. They're getting after guys, especially that defensive line. With Cox up there, he's getting after guys. They're not just getting to you, but they're going to bang you around, man. They're bringing the lumber. And with the way that offensive line looks at the Giants, Eli better pray and hope that, he ends up leaving this game with his life. Because I'm telling you, that offensive line just crumbles so easily. My question about the Eagles' defense is in the secondary. They're so banged up with injuries. You got, Darby who's dealing with an injury situation. Watkins who's dealing with an injury situation. McLeod who's dealing with an injury situation. Graham who's dealing with an injury situation. So that secondary from corner to safety is banged up with injuries right now, so I'm just wondering how long can they cover. But I believe that their front seven is going to be able to get to Eli. So I don't think they'll be able to, I don't think they'll have to cover for too long. Offensively, my only question about the Eagles going into this game is, are they going to continue to get pass happy and keep asking Carson Wentz to do a lot more than I think he should be doing? I need to see the Eagles come with a little bit more of an effort from the run game. I want to see them establish the run in this game. I want to see them kind of take the ball out of Wentz's hands a little bit, even though he's a very good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's looked solid so far. But I just think they're just asking him to do too much. He's sitting back in there in the pocket with too much when he should just be able to hand the ball off and get some yards running the football. So with that said, man, I think that the Eagles will win this game. I am taking the Eagles to beat the Giants 24-13. I'm sorry, but the Giants to me they just aren't looking good so far. I cannot get down with them. The Eagles, they got some things going and I think they take it. So again, I am taking the Eagles to win that game. Next game I want to cover, Bengals at Packers, man. The Bengals offense is looking bad as well. That offensive line is spotty as well. Andy Dalton is awful. He has not looked very good at all. The running game is confusing. I don't understand why you have Joe Mixon, but you don't use him as much as he should be used on this backfield. They continue to start with Hill and all these things. They also just fired their offensive coordinator, so I'm hoping the new guy that they put in his place will give this offense a jump. Defensively, the Bengals they're solid, man. They've got some playmakers up there. They got some guys that can get to you, especially Geno Atkins, man. That dude is a monster. He's one of the best defensive linemen in the entire league. This guy will get after it from that defensive line spot. But man, let me tell you something. When your offense is as bad as the Bengals, it's hard to produce. It's hard to shut guys down defensively and stop people. Because you're out on the field all night long. And you look at the situation you got with the Packers, where the Packers are banged up at the wide receiver position. Jordy's dealing with injury issues. They've got Cobb dealing with injury issues. So you're asking a guy like Allison to step up into your wide receiver core, and hopefully he makes some plays for you. I also will look to see the Packers get Bennett a little bit more involved in the offense. I know he's had some drops, and there's been some situations there where he dropped a touchdown. But listen, this is a guy that still can get it done at the tight end position. You just got to give him some more targets, and I think he'll be all right. Montgomery is another guy coming out that backfield who's a solid running back, a guy that converted from wide receiver to running back. So he can also be lined up on the outside as well as a receiver and create some mismatches there because he can catch the football from there too. And Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Now, my question about the Packers going into this game is, what Packers defense are we getting? Which one are we getting here? Is it going to be Packers of the first week where you guys are solid, or the Packers of the second week where you guys just look like, butter in the hot sun? What are we getting here? The Packers defense has got to be more consistent. They got to play more stout up front, and they've got to shut guys down. You can't just be letting people run all willy-nilly all over you. That just cannot happen in this game. So with that said, man, I think the Packers will be able to do just enough. I don't believe in the Bengals offense at all, and I think the Packers beat the Bengals 30-13, man. I just cannot see the Bengals getting the job done here. I just don't believe in them at all. I think maybe the offensive coordinator, the new guy they put in his place, will start to get something done. But Aaron Rodgers is coming in and he's hungry, man. I think the Packers are going to get the job done. So now we're moving on to the last game. Okay, last but not least, my favorite game, your favorite game, our favorite game, guys. The Jets game. Okay, you got Dolphins at Jets. Woo! The Dolphins are looking, this is a team that has a lot of weapons, man, a lot of weapons. If you look at the Jet side of the football, there's a lot of question marks here, especially defensively. You got Muhammad Wilkerson dealing with injuries. He may not play. You got, Williams as well. He's nicked up. He's got a wrist injury. You look at our offensive line. You got Brian Winters, who's injured, so you got Dakota Dozier stepping up into that situation. Man, there's some questions. Offensively, our offensive line has to play stout in this game. You got Cameron Wake, you got Sue, you got Kiko Alonso. You got guys that can absolutely rush the passer here. If you do not get after, these guys, and you do not get them, blocked up front, then let me tell you something. McCown is going to have a long day back there trying to find a target when he's got guys in his face or in his ear hole just absolutely blasting him, because that's what he'll have. We've seen this time and time again where Cameron Wake, we've played against the Dolphins, and Cameron Wake has just had a day and had his way out there. And I do not want to see that come Sunday. I also want to see other guys step up in our wide receiving core. Curse has been really kind of the lone guy, the standout guy, the guy that has made the most plays in our wide receiving core. You got ASJ coming back for this game as well. I want to see him, be put in a position to be a receiving threat out there. I need guys like Darius Stewart and Hanson to be put into this football game and given snaps. Give him snaps, man. What do we draft this kid for if we're not giving him snaps? The roster has to be managed a lot better in this game as well. Defensively, the Jets have to get after, okay? You have to get after Jay Cutler. We have to manufacture some pass rush from somewhere. Whether it be Josh Martin, whether it be, Coney Ely. It's got to be somebody has got to get after Jay Cutler. Our secondary has to play a lot better. You got Devontae Parker out there. You've got, they've got so many weapons up there. You have to get these guys covered. Buster Screen and Burris, they've got to cover better. They've absolutely got to cover better. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You start letting Landry get loose around here, we're going to have a long day. And also, you got to watch Landry because they also run a lot of packages for him as well. We saw that in the last game with Cordell Patterson. They had some packages for him, and Cordell was able to just go off and make big plays as well. You cannot let that happen against Jarvis Landry. This guy will come in. There's some jet sweeps. There's some handoffs they give him. There's some drag routes they run across the middle with him. He's super effective. You have to have the eye out for him. You cannot let this guy make big plays in this game. Julius Thomas, again, this is another guy, older tight end. He's getting a little bit older, but he can still make plays. We have to find a way to corral tight ends here, whether it be you stick Adams on them or whether, you try to figure out something with DeMario Davis and Lee, but those guys are playing like absolute trash. So you have to find some way to cover Julius Thomas, because otherwise it is going to be a nightmare for you. Special teams wise as well. You look at that situation. Landry is a very effective punt returner. You got to take him out of that game. We've got to play solid at every single phase to win this football game. And the overall part of it, and I didn't even really want to talk about it, but let me tell you something. If we cannot figure out a way to stop Jay Ajayi, we're done, bro. We're done, okay? You cannot let backs have the big games that they've had against us. You just can't. And you can't let this guy do it either. He's their number one offensive weapon. I mean, this he's a monster out there. And he'll run you straight straight into the hallways and get you up out of there real fast. The score will be absolutely ridiculous if we let this guy, just go off on us like he's gone off on many teams in the league, So we got to find a way to stop Jay Ajayi, man. There's just so many questions for the Jets, so many questions, with this team, so many questions about ways to stop guys and how do we manufacture this. I'm sorry, I just can't take the Jets in this game. When you look at the matchups, man, it just does not favor the Jets at all. So with that said, sadly, and with the stomach just quivering because I cannot stand the Dolphins, I'm taking the Dolphins to win this game, man, 27-14. I'm taking the Dolphins, man. They just got too many matchups, and I just see them just getting after McCown all day and all night, and I feel like our offensive line at right guard and right tackle will be exposed. I think the injuries of Williams and Wilkerson are definitely going to show up big, especially, with our defensive line kind of struggling like they have already. And our secondary is going to be taken advantage of, especially with Stream and Burris out there. Those guys have not played very well at all. So again, with that said, I am taking the Dolphins to win this game, man. So it is what it is. So, hey, let me know what you guys think, man. Get in my comment box below, guys. Tell me about your teams. What opponents do you guys, what weeks do you have coming up? Let me know what your weaknesses, what your strengths are. What are your thoughts about my pick, man? Let me know. Let me hear what you guys are thinking. All right, guys, let me know, man. So again, have a good time with your families, man. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy watching football. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you guys again for watching. Peace.